me?
Where?
I'm live.
Somebody in China is.
I don't know. All right. Well, let's see if this works. All right. So I'm going to ignore that, although that's be distracting. Oh my gosh. I'm going to minimize that. And then let's talk about how we break this down. So here's your assignment: is to make the memory game. You've already got the CSS done. Where do you start with the JavaScript?
What's the question?
That's a question.
You need to randomize the tiles.
Yeah, you need. Well, you have. That's right. But before that, you actually have to have the tiles.
So we're scrapping our HTML.
You're going to generate your HTML with Lodash. So it will be the same HTML. So that's,
you were right. I could ignore the fact that I did my HTML.
yes, that's right. So what you need to do, the first thing, you're very close to right. The first thing you need to do is have an array of tiles. Get an array of tiles. And
We didn't even know what arrays were.
yeah.
So it would be very hard if it's the same order.
So like an array like A, B, B. So you want to have two of the same tile repeated twice.
So you want to create 8 tiles.
So you want to create 8 tiles. But here's what I would recommend: is I created an array that had all the possible tiles.
So
like
this
A,
is A, B, C, D.
B. Actually, what I probably did, I don't remember, but I probably did a string: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. Dot split. And that gave me an array of, an array that has single characters in it. And then I think I just concatenated that array to itself so that I had 2 of each character. So in other words, I have 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 C's, 2 D's, right? So basically what you want to have is 2 of each tile.
Right.
Okay? And the letter should map to some icon font that you've got. Right, you've got an icon font where the A is a rocket ship, a B is a rabbit. Okay. So you get that. You get your array of tiles, 2 of each, and however long you want. So like, let's say you want a 16 by 16, a 6 by 6 board or something. Figure the math out. Anyway, moving on. So that's right. And the next thing is what you said, which is to randomize your array. That's the tricky part, I think. Well, a tricky part. You can definitely do it. You know the math.random function. You know how to get a number between 1 and whatever. You can do it.
It's similar to how we got the random word out of the hangman.
Yeah, really simple. Okay, so you can randomize your array. What's the next step? What's your next step? I don't know what's going on.
Okay, I'll let you guys take one. Let's see. Given that we have all the rest of the CSS intact,
Yeah.
so make the cards stay like when you flip 1, when you flip 2. Sorry.
Showing matches.
You're jumping one step ahead, I think, but that's right.
Well, we're assuming that it's already put it in the map.
If you click 2,
Yeah, you need to, yeah, exactly right. You need to use like a template or something. Generate your HTML.
Get it on there.
So you're going to take your randomized array and generate a bunch of tiles, HTML out of it. You can use Lodash to do that. Okay. Next step is
When you click 2, flip there.
well, it's already going to click. When you click 1, it flips over. That's already happening because you have a checkbox and it's just going to flip.
So detect if 2 have been clicked.
Yeah.
Grab the value of the ones you click.
Right.
You have
Do something to compare the 2 values.
You have to run an if statement to compare the 2, but also make it so you can't flip over a third one until the comparison's
So that's what I said.
So actually, mine, what I do is, here's what I do. I allow them to flip 3, but by the time I'm flipping the 3rd, it's already flipping the other 2 back. So, I mean, they can do it if they want, but, so let's back it up a little bit. So the first thing I need to do next is get the value of the one that's valued. All right, so probably add a click handle to the whole board or something, or maybe to each tile, whatever. Click handle tile.
Sounds like old.
Good.
Good thing.
I think that's what I did. I don't remember honestly. All right, so handle your tile click somehow. And so when they do click a tile, you want to remember which one they clicked.
Right. So store the value.
Yes. That's
Remember.
So would you just store it in a variable or?
Probably. I think I did. I think I had like previous tile or something like that. I don't know what I did actually, so I'm just guessing off the top of my head. That might be one way to do it. Another way you could do it is if they click a tile, give it a class like this one is being evaluated. And they click another one, you give that class, and then you say, okay, if I have two that are being evaluated, compare them. If they're not equal, then remove the evaluation, and that should flip them back over or something, right? You could, there's some other way to do it. I didn't do it that way, but that would work. I didn't do it with jQuery, so that would have been kind of more of a pain for me. You could do that. But regardless, somehow you want to remember which one was clicked, whether marking it by changing the HTML itself or just storing it in a variable or something. And so the next time another one is clicked, you want to do
Compare to the first.
compare. If they equal each other, then you can just mark that as permanently flipped or something, so that they can't be clicked anymore. So,
Adding a class.
so that's something you want to do. Yeah, you might have a class. So that's another thing you want to do is make sure that if a tile has a match, don't let them click it and flip it over again. You know, it can't be clicked. Okay, so you gotta remember that. Make sense? Does that make sense? All right. So let's talk about this maybe a little tiny bit more. What you might do is you're gonna have one click handler when this is clicked. If there is a previous one, then you compare. If there's not a previous one, then you set it. So if there is a previous one, you compare. If they aren't equal, you flip them and make previous null again.
So you say it's like undefined or something.
Yeah, you set it and you set it back to undefined after you've compared. And that way your click is going to do a different thing. It's going to basically do one thing one time, a different thing a different time, and then back to the first thing it did. And it's going to go back and forth. It's going to go back and forth between saying set the previous and then compare it, and then set the previous and then compare, depending on which click you're on. If you're on the first click, it's going to set the previous. If you're on the second click, you're going to compare and then set previous to null. If you click again, previous will be null, so you're going to set the previous. If you click again, previous will not be null, so you're going to compare and set previous to null.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? All right. When you click the tile, you're going to set some variable. Let's say previous tile.
Okay.
And so now previous tile will be pointing to this. Now when you click another tile and that click event, same click event, same click handler function. You're going to say if previous has a value, compare it to the one that I just clicked, and then set previous to null. So that previous no longer has value. So you're going to say previous is not that. And the next time you click, you're going to compare it to what you clicked and set it to null again. We can talk about this. We'll talk about it when you get to that point. So get through to here when you get to the point where you're trying to figure out how to compare, let's sync. So far you've got an array with all your tiles. You've randomized the array. You've generated your HTML. You're handling a tile click. When it's clicked, you want to remember it. When it's clicked the second time, you want to compare. And then the next time it's a tile's clicked, you want to go back to this. So you can isolate between these two behaviors on click. You have to figure out how to program that. You do it. If a tile has a match, it can't be clicked anymore. So you leave it flipped over. That's the idea. So you got to do something that mark it as never clickable again. A class would be a good way to do that. And that means you have to cancel the click in that case. So your click event eventually gets to have several different scenarios that it's processing for.
Because then it might, if tile has a match, might at some point, if we get to it, beyond life, it might take, that'd be even more.
Yeah, and eventually, so this is your sort of minimum viable product, if you want to call it that. You get to the point where now your tiles are staying flipped if they're matched. Eventually, you're going to have the whole board flip and you win. And you don't automatically detect that case if you don't want to. You can just make it to where, the user can look at it, but hey, they're all flipped, I win, So that's still pretty handy, it's still fun. You could just do that and you're good to go. You don't have to have hearts, you don't have to have time, you just do that. But your next step after all of that would be maybe adding hearts in and starting a lose game and a win game screen, or whatever you want to do. I don't know what comes after this. It might be to make a win game screen and make that happen, and a lose game screen. It might be to make the hard board. It might be to add hearts in or time. That's all your decision. But every single thing that you decide to do next, you should break it down the way we just did first. Break it down into steps and think about what's the sequence that you need to go through in order to write the next thing. So if you decided the next thing you wanted to do was hearts, break it down in steps. Where would you do it? Where does it need to go? What does it need to affect? How do you draw it? How do you remove from there? What happens when there are zero? Just you break them all down in steps, one at a time, that you can go through in sequence to get it done. Okay? Maybe tomorrow we'll walk through that as well. All right, I'm gonna cut this thing off. I don't know what it will actually